Today, we are diving into something I think a lot of us can relate to, this idea of protector identities. We're going to explore why so many of us who are driven, who are successful, work so hard for peace, only to find ourselves accidentally creating chaos. So, let's get into it.
So, let's just start with a question that might, hit a little close to home. You work hard. You build things. You're always striving for that next goal. You tell yourself you want peace, you want balance. But if you're being really honest with yourself, does your life feel more like a constant, low-grade fire you're always putting out? Why is that?
Well, the answer often comes down to this kind of unseen saboteur, right? An internal part of us that's working against our own best intentions. This is the big paradox for so many high achievers, and in this first part, we're really going to unpack it.
So here's the real conflict. On the surface, consciously, we want to step off the hamster wheel. We're tired of the grind. But deep down, unconsciously, we've gotten really attached to the identities that helped us survive in the first place. The grinder, the cynic, the fighter. These parts, well, they don't want to retire, because for a long time, they're what kept us safe.
Okay, so what exactly are these survival identities? Well, the source material we're looking at has a name for them, protector parts. Let's take a closer look at what that actually means. Now, this is absolutely the key thing to get. Protector parts are not the real you. Think of them more like internal managers or bodyguards. They stepped up to run the whole show to shield that really vulnerable part of you, the part that feels fear or shame, or that deep down feeling that the world just isn't a safe place. And yeah, these parts don't just pop up out of nowhere. They are literally forged in fire. The fire of threat, of scarcity, of collapse, and sometimes it's from our own lives. But you know what's wild? Sometimes this stuff is inherited, passed down from parents or grandparents who went through their own tough times. So it's crucial to remember, they are adaptations, not flaws.
And this is where it gets so tricky, right? Because these protectors are masters of disguise. We just mistake them for our personality. We say things like, oh, that's just me, I'm a grinder, or I just have a really strong personality. We build our whole sense of self around these things without ever realizing they're just roles we learned to play.
And that really gets to the heart of the problem. These protectors were built for a battle that, for many of us, is already over. They're incredibly powerful adaptations that were, at one time, absolutely necessary. The issue is, even when we've made it to safety, the protector is still standing there, holding up the shield because it literally can't tell the danger has passed.
So to make this whole thing a little less abstract, the author of our source material gives us a really personal look at one of his own major protector parts. So let's meet the bull.
The bull was basically born from one simple, powerful rule that got wired into his nervous system as a kid. When there's a threat, real or imagined, you work. You push harder, you endure. And you absolutely do not stop, no matter what it costs you. Your health, your relationships, anything.
So what does a protector like the bull believe? Well, its first commandment is simple. Your worth is directly tied to your endurance. Your value as a person isn't just a given. Nope, it has to be earned through struggle. The bull's second core belief? Rest is for the weak, and it's dangerous. From its point of view, the second you stop moving, you become a target. Letting your guard down, relaxing, those aren't just luxuries, they're like existential threats.
And finally, the bull's third rule is that tenderness can always wait. All the soft, good stuff in life. Connection, self-care, love, just quiet moments. All of that gets pushed to the back burner. The mission comes first. And for a protector like the bull, there is always another mission.
So you can see how a part like the bull would be amazing at getting things done, right? But what's the real cost? What's the price you pay when a protector like this is in the driver's seat of your life?
And right here, this is the big lie. The protector always promises you, hey, just get through this one last thing, and then you'll get to that safe shore where you can finally relax. But here's the reality. That shore never, ever comes. The protector is a threat detection machine. As soon as one threat is gone, it just scans the horizon and finds the next one.
And the toll this takes is it's enormous. Your very sense of safety gets tangled up with your achievements. You can't just enjoy doing something because your survival feels like it depends on the outcome. So instead of taking small bites, you feel this frantic urge to swallow the whole whale in one go.
For the author, the big wake-up call, the moment he couldn't ignore it anymore, came when he looked at his wife. He realized she had stopped fighting with him about his obsessive work, not because she was okay with it, but because it had just become too painful to keep reaching for someone who wasn't there. And that, That's when the true cost hits you.
Okay, so seeing the damage is step one, but what do you actually do about it? Let's shift gears and talk about the solution. And it's not about fighting these parts of ourselves, it's about governing them.
Now, this might sound a little backwards, but the goal here is not to kill the bull, or whatever your protector is called. That part is actually trying to help in its own way. The real work, the hard work, is to feel the fear that the protector has been shielding you from all this time, and to just let that fear be seen and held.
And I absolutely love this metaphor for the shift you need to make. Your protector can't be the CEO of your life anymore. But you know what? It can be a really valuable employee. The bull is fantastic for crunch time on a big project, but it shouldn't be making the big picture decisions about your happiness or your relationships.
This whole practice has a name: self-governance. It's about containing the protector's energy, giving it a job, but not the keys to the entire company. You're in charge now, not the old adaptation. That's the real essence of self-sovereignty.
Which brings us to our final section, and honestly to the question this entire explainer has been building towards.
Because the biggest risk here, the ultimate danger, isn't just burning out. That's bad for sure. But the deepest tragedy of all is to get to the end of your days, to look back at this incredible life you've built, and to realize that the real, authentic, vulnerable you never actually got to live in it. It was run by your managers, your strategies, your protectors.
So the final question we want to leave you with isn't about how to crush these parts of yourself. It's, who will you finally let come home? Who really gets to enjoy this one life you've worked so hard for? The protector, or the one it was trying to protect all along?